What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the channel. My name is Michael and I hope you are having an awesome day. So I just reacted to Sabaton-Uprising, the history. I enjoy giving historical context before I listen to these songs. That way there's just a lot more, one, context, and two, I know what they're talking about. In this regards, they're talking about the uprising in Warsaw, Poland, just kind of how the Polish decided to uprise, and the backdrops, the backstories about how they were kind of doomed to fail from the start, and they knew that, yet they continued to persist, even though they basically had imminent death, regardless of what side they were going on. You know, death from the Germans in regards to uprising, and death from the Soviets if they fell behind Soviet lines as rebels. But anyways, Sabaton-Uprising, drop a like, and let's get into it.
Was the rule on Poland 1939, and the Allies turned away. From the underground rose a hope of freedom as a whisper. City in despair, but they never lost their faith. Women, men, and children fight, they were dying side by side, and the blood they shed upon the streets was a sacrifice willingly paid. Warsaw, city at war, voices from underground, whispers of freedom. 1944, help that never came. Calling Warsaw, city at war, voices from underground, whispers of freedom. Rise up and hear the call, history calling to you.
So Sabaton, the first song that I saw from Sabaton was Bismarck, and the scenery and the cinematography was from War of Tanks, and those graphic designers and those producers. Is this from an actual movie itself, or is this just more so, kind of Sabaton adding that sprinkle and focusing really on the cinematography? Because it is a lot of clips of what's going on in the conflict that we have from World War II, but it's also kind of acting portrayed out. Let me know.
Spirit, soul, and heart in accordance with the old traditions. 1944, still the Allies turned away. Fighting street to street in a time of hope and desperation. Did it on their own, and they never lost their faith. Women, men, and children fight, they were dying side by side. And the blood they shed upon the streets was a sacrifice willingly paid. Warsaw, city at war, voices from underground, whispers of freedom. 1944, help that never came. Calling Warsaw, city at war, voices from underground, whispers of freedom. Rise up and hear the call, history calling to you.
You know, and just seeing that clip where the German soldiers are kind of walking back and shooting the bodies, and then what was talked about in history, how Himmler basically had sent the SS there to, you know, basically kind of to annihilate the city and push them back, whereas the Wehrmacht was so busy with the Soviets and, you know, they're doing their thing. And one of the things that I've learned through like my reading of history is, you know, right off the bat, is the Wehrmacht in a sense was obviously different from the SS. SS was like the very, not necessarily elite, but extremist version of the Nazi Party, and the majority of the Wehrmacht were German citizens who didn't necessarily align with Hitler. They were just conscripted into the army and they had to serve on that. Whereas the SS is the one that's notorious for, you know, all the war crimes and the elite Nazi Party and stuff. It's just it's hard and it's crazy to imagine that, you know, they just have these like death squads. It's just, and then seeing like clips of it, it's just, I don't know, it's just, there's that intensity factor that just comes out. Wow. So an older Sabaton song, but regardless of that, you know, typical Sabaton, the historical context, the rock and roll, the action, the nice solos, but for whatever reason, this one seemed to strike home and just, you know, it was a little more like sad and harder to react to just because they were kind of abandoned, you know, and it has to do with the whole, you know, aspect of being sent to concentration camps, and that's just not a very pleasant part of our history, but it is a part of our history nonetheless. So I feel like this was a lot more of the emotional weighted song compared to typical Sabaton songs. That being said, you know, it's important to like discuss these things and also have historical context of these events that did happen. And you know, music is supposed to speak to your soul, and there are emotional ties with it. And you know, like I said, this just seemed to be a little more heavy emotionally, which is sad, but it's also important to not forget that historical element. But anyway, Sabaton Uprising, the official music video. I hope you guys are having an awesome day out there, staying cool. And as always, stay healthy, stay happy, and have a blessed day. Peace.